Well, hello and good afternoon to all of our viewers in the United States and hopefully a few around the world. I'm Matt Sloan. I'm the CEO and founder of Skyfire Consulting, and we are thrilled to be joined today by Edwin Sanchez, the CTO and founder of Votix. So, Edwin, thank you so much for being with us. I know this has been a long time in the works.
Yeah, thank you for having me in the program. I mean, looking forward to showcase what we have and discuss with you what the future of DFR is.
Absolutely. Well, and we're also going to be having our VP of Public Safety, Mike Rogers, will be joining us here in progress in just a few minutes. But while we're waiting on Mike, if you could just tell me a little bit about the background of Votix, how you guys got your start, and what interested you in the DFR world.
Well, it's we started thinking about some solution for the drone, I mean, the industrial drones operations a while ago, like 7 or 6 years ago. And at the time, there was not convergence on certain technologies to make it a reality. However, like 4 years ago, we really started seeing, that everything was in place to start working on something that was really, enterprise grade. And since then, we've been working, and it's been a progression of things and different solutions, different implementations, different perspectives that finally came up to the point where we are right now, and where we feel strongly confident that we have a very robust solution, again, enterprise or government grade, for providing an effective and efficient DFR solution, in addition to many other industries in which Votix makes sense. If I can actually pinpoint a few pivotal points. First, my partners and me come from the technology industry. I actually worked for Oracle, Microsoft, Adobe. So I come from the corporate software world and different worldwide positions. And my background allowed to actually envision that the programs that drones will serve, and the benefits that the drones will bring to the market will make sense, will be understood and leveraged for the long term if there was software, corporate software supporting those operations, and that includes government, of course. Given the experience that I had, that's necessary for governance and orchestration and integration to back office systems. My partner comes from the cybersecurity world, so we also understand how important is data and data flow, and how to protect the chain of custody, and ensure that data and access to data, it's critical and protected, and as immediate and as effective as possible. And my other partner comes from the droning industry. He's an expert in the droning industry, and he understands all the mechatronics and all the caveats behind managing drones and having access to sensors on board the drone and how to really operate them. So we joined those forces and came up with this solution that is a horizontal solution that is helping right now the industry. Now, the other important point, it's when we implemented a highly efficient video management system that is our own implementation, to come up with latency times that are below a quarter of a second, which is really, powerful, especially if you see it happening with high definition. So I'll have a chance to show a few of these things and discuss a little bit more about the benefit of that. But I definitely see that as a key component along with the telecontrol for DFR implementations.
That's really interesting, and I appreciate the background there. So, you guys have worked internationally as well as here domestically in the U.S. In the public safety world and outside. What are some of the other industries? Obviously, today we're focusing on public safety, but where you guys got some of your roots in other industries?
Yeah, well, you're right. The platform, it's actually so dynamic that it can serve DFR implementations for government institutions, but on top of that, can also serve many other applications in a smart city deployment. Let's put it that way, and that includes inspections, monitoring, surveillance, assessments, and all sorts of things. We have the same kind of things in the out there in the private sector. So we have cases in oil and gas analysis and monitoring, construction, in, let's say, some projects of transportation of small packages and so on. And the list goes on. Actually, a very recent implementation is related to tourism, like performing remote tourism to these special places, using drones in a concept that we're pinning as remote reality, where you are on board a drone, you man it, and you're able to see these places, beautiful places that you probably won't visit or
Mhm.
that you want to explore in advance. So it goes all the way from serious and very critical, mission critical implementations in the government, all the way to industrial implementations and some other leisure and entertainment implementations.
Awesome. Well, if you would just kind of, I know we're going to see it here in just a minute. Kind of give me the rundown of what exactly the software does, and from a high level, and then we can dive in and take a look at it.
Sure. Our approach is very robust in terms of how to support an entire workflow or application. The way we normally pitch in our market, in our site, it's that we are a platform for drone orchestration and automation. And that means that we can help you with our platform to orchestrate and operate a standard program with all the different complexities that are involved and all the different moving parts. That's why we talk about the concept of orchestration, but also enable the process of automation. In that way, we're actually changing a little bit the math. Up to now, most of the cases are many to one, meaning many people involved in operating one drone, to actually going from one to many. Hence, you can have one person, one pilot, or one telecontroller actually operating several drones. And some of the additional elements of value here is that we're drone agnostic, sensor agnostic, and let's say application agnostic, meaning that our platform can be used in different contexts at the same time. So you can have several drones flying from different types at the same time, and also in different uses or purposes. So that's actually what we're actually bringing to the market and the value that we have as a company. There's three major products that can work in tandem as a suite, but they can work also independently. One of them is called Manage, for managing, as the name says, your operation, to govern it and keep it compliant all the times, both in the private sector and public sector too, and be able to respond easily to all the different audits and demands and requests from stakeholders about what is it that you're doing, what is it that you're planning, both before and after the execution of any project. And that also involves analytics and precision analytics on the program execution, and precision analytics with integrations that we have for analyzing captured data. Now, the second product that we have is called a Stream, which is very popular right now in the DFR industry. In addition to the manage and being able to respond to stakeholders, is that you can actually have real-time access to what's going on in a situational, or providing enhanced situational awareness to a potential situation occurring in a given moment for public safety or other forces in the government, where with a very low latency and for any drone out there in the market, we can provide very cost efficient, cheap, just to use another word, to have high resolution streaming with a very low latency. That's a streaming with a number of different capacities that we're going to show in a minute. And the last one, which we consider the high-end product that we have, and the future of many implementations in government and in the private sector, is the Fly product, which allows for telecontrolling the aircraft, for telecontrolling the sensors on board, for performing a number of different operations and combine, on the field operations with fusion centers or command centers for having a very effective and enriched operational capacity during an execution or the execution of a given project or situation.
Awesome. Well, it's a fantastic product. I mean, we've had the chance to demo it and play around with it.
Thank you.
Mike, who has had his hands on it and been able to fly remotely with it, had a lot of great things to say about it. So I would love for you to actually show us some of the product. I know we've got your screen pulled up here, so just let me know if you're ready for me to. I can throw that up there and we can take a look at it.
Yeah, definitely. We can start with a video of fly execution that we were performing in Canada just recently. And I think it's a cool video. So if you can put it on the screen, I will love it. So that way we can see and analyze a few things. Then we're going to move on to other additional pieces of the product. But this one here is actually showing let me just go a little bit here. Okay, so it's showing actually how a flight is performed. So once you actually enter into a browser, you can easily just in less than 30 seconds be flying one aircraft, connected to that aircraft. So right here, I'm actually based in Miami, and this drone is actually parked in some place in the north in Canada. As you see, we can have a map view with the mission that is scheduled for this flight, and you have what we call the optic view or visual view. In this case, I actually took on just in manual mode. So as you see, I'm actually manning the drone right now manually, which any telecontroller can do from a browser. This is a full screen browser, hence you have a more immersive experience. And you see, the quality of the video is high quality, very responsive. And in this case, I'm actually operating the sensor. So I'm playing with the sensor. I'm having the opportunity to see what's going on in the area. I'm actually just, locating in the place that I really want to be. And when I have all of this, I'm actually providing, or we are providing users with a strong capacity to really locate the drone in the position that is required and combine it with what we call missioning. So you can have a pre-programmed mission, and we'll see that in a minute. I actually start the mission that is assigned to this particular flight, and the drone will do something. So what I'm actually mimicking here in this demo is actually just kind of inspecting the area before sending the drone to do a routine operation or a routine mission in the process. Right now, I'm actually starting a mission. You'll see that I actually show in the map how it goes automatically to waypoint 1 and start executing the routine. So this is a routine about monitoring the conditions of a lake and how the ice and the lake, let's say, stability is in order to allow people to go around the lake. So in this case, it's going through waypoint 1, waypoint 2, and of course, all the different actions that I program for each one of the waypoints. And then later in the process, after running through a few steps, and I'm almost done here. It's after going to waypoint 6, which is the last one of a mission. I will stop the drone again, and we'll do some additional maneuvers on my own. Actually, I'm gonna stop right now. You see, and I start manning the drone on my own. So this is the kind of capacity in the fly product we have. So you can really, have a combined capacity of executing autonomous flights with manual flights, or a combination of the two. Now, let me point to something here. Down here, we have the capacity to share what's called a link, generate a link of this session, and then share it with a team who can see what I'm doing in real time with a very low latency. Just copying a link and then sharing that link to different people. Like, for example, I was doing this, generate that link directly in the cockpit and send it to you so you can watch what's going on here. And then we can start collaborating on how to operate, or what's going to be the next step in our tactical deployment.
Yeah, this is fantastic. So this is obviously a mission where you're doing situational awareness type stuff. If you wanted to make changes on the fly, if you wanted to change waypoints, or let's say you're in an emergency situation, you need to, be able to go to a specific location, address, or something like that right away. Do you have that capability?
Yes, definitely. We can. It's not showcased in this particular video, but you can actually click on the map when you're in the map mode, you just click on any area in the map where you want to go. The drone will ask you for confirmation of the location of the latitude and longitude. The system captures the one that you clicked on, but you can actually enter a specific coordinates for the drone to go, and the drone will start going to that location, immediately. Once the drone is in that location, it will actually enter in a position hold, waiting for further instructions. So that's a way, and then you can start operating that. Yeah, so there's a constant collaboration between the software and the person operating. Now, your question actually takes me into something important. The software privileges any potential operator on the field. So if there's a pilot, an officer, or anyone on the field that wants to use a remote controller to operate the drone, the software will provide or will assign a priority to that remote controller for whatever the reason is, if there's any remote controller on site that is linked to the same drone that is being telecontrolled. Okay.
Got it. So they have the ability on the ground to take back control when they need to and do what needs to be done.
Exactly.
Great. So another question, just kind of looking through this, what aircraft is this that's flying, and what other aircraft do you have the ability to integrate this software with at the moment?
That's a great question. This one in particular is a DJI Mavic Zoom drone that was flying in this opportunity. However, we support all DJI drones, Outtail, Parrot drones, and MapLink based drones, which are the most of the drones out there in the market that are used for industrial purposes. So any drone that runs on Pixhawk controllers or any controller that operates with MapLink instruction sets, we can support them too.
Got it. So if an agency is looking at this as a potential solution for drone first responder, or even if they're looking for a basic solution just for video streaming, walk me through the pricing for this. How is the pricing structured? Is it per drone or per pilot, or how do you approach that when a customer is interested?
That's a good question. Fly, this product that is based for telecontrolling aircraft, it's drone based. So every drone needs a license, and it's drone based. It's not user based. Our product Manage, which is for managing operations and planning operations and a number of different things in governing, is user based. So any user that requires access to managing data or planning and so on requires one license for Manage. And streaming is per user that streams, pretty much. And there's a correlation between users and what we call device IDs. So user-based for Manage, device-based, user device-based for streaming, and for Fly, it's drone-based. Now, what's important here also to mention is that you can have, let's say, a fleet of drones, and some of them are not being used. And what you're seeing in the screen right now, it's precision landing. So we can support also precision landing in landing pads or launch pads, as the one you see there, or even stations of any sort. So we have the capacity to support drone in a box and operate different types of stations and precision land on those. So our precision landing does not depend on the aircraft itself. It depends on the visual sensor that it's on board the drone, and we can use any of them by calibrating it and then do precision landing. Going back to your question, the beauty here is that our licensing model and split in 3 types makes it for a very efficient configuration of licensing and very efficient or cost-effective implementation of all this technology. And by the way, this is the kind of technology that does not require any implementation at all. So this is a SaaS solution. You sign up today, and you actually create your drones in our fleet, in the fleet, in our system, and you're good to go. So you may say that even signing up now, tomorrow you can be flying and you can be operating at a fraction of the cost that many other vendors are offering right now in the market.
Yeah, no, and you just hit on that. What my next question was going to be, which is what hardware do you need, or how easily do you get started? So that's great. Yeah, and that was, I think, one of Mike's comments. When he was starting this was how easy it was to just get started, and it's basically you install an app, right? I mean, it's that simple.
It's that simple, actually. It's amazing. You don't need any extra hardware. You actually install just an app in the remote controller or one of our two apps. You sign up, you receive one user and one password, and then you're ready to go in our platform online. So it's a very easy to deploy solution, very efficient in terms of cost and infrastructure deployment. Pretty much no infrastructure is needed. We rely and leverage on the same infrastructure what you already have. So whatever drone you have, whatever remote controller you have, chances are it's going to be supported in our platform. There's only a few exceptions. And we always work with customers on understanding their context, their deployment, the hardware they have, and the need they have, and then we help, achieve what's required for fully leveraging on our platform.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm curious too. You mentioned like you guys support most of the drones that our clients are using, but if there is somebody who's got an aircraft that you don't currently support, is that something that they can ask you to integrate, or what's the process like for that?
Well, Votix, again, when we talk about orchestrating, we envision, and given our background coming from the corporate world, that many times organizations want to integrate our platform to other, back office systems or secondary systems. So there's different ways that we have available for integrating that through APIs and some other mechanisms that can be used for that purpose. Now, what's interesting here is that there's actually a layer in our licensing that is called enterprise that allows for those type of integrations. So that depending on the integration can be, a straightforward plug and play, or it may require some additional work. But in the end, we're open to that type of thing. So we're not a closed platform that does not allow for integration to other systems. We
Awesome.
are.
Well, and in that vein too, I mean, I'm curious, kind of what's on your roadmap. What can the viewers today kind of expect to see coming out of Votix in the next 6 to 9 months that you can talk about? Obviously, I know a lot of that stuff you can't talk about, but
oh yeah, there's actually a number of different things that are pretty confidential and very cool. What I can say is that Votix is always thinking about how to allow users to transition from legacy operations or the standard or the status quo type of operation where there's actually one pilot on the field and operating a drone under a VLOS capability with very limited capacities and with some hardware restrictions, but also allowing that same infrastructure to easily jump into the next wave and the next one. So that's an important driver in what we do. Rest assured that anyone out there that already has certain capacity to operate, has a drone program, will be able to use our technology and only enhances that, doesn't change what you have. However, for example, if you're thinking about the kind of operation where battery time, it's a limitation, we're working on how to enhance that capacity and allow for a number of different combinations in the software that will allow you to continuous work in a session while swapping drones, for example. That's an interesting kind of thing where we will be releasing that soon. We're also working on the future of automation and how to enhance video analytics real time or augmented reality real time. There's actually a pretty hot area there, and we'll see more of that in Votix in the near future, even this same year. The overall industry, it's trying to have more, especially the DFR, a more ad hoc execution, expanding the capabilities not only to drones but to other devices. So our platform right now supports not only aircraft but some other drones, like rovers or dogs or submarines and so on, and how to combine those in addition to, let's say, phones, dash cameras, chest cameras, and so on that can be plugged to our platform and provide the user with a very enhanced capability. So those things are either now present or coming up in the near future. Yeah, there's way more that I cannot relate, Matt, you know that, but definitely exciting time for the drone industry.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, a couple questions as we kind of wrap up here. Where can folks get a live demo? How can they reach out and get a live demo? And where will you guys be in the next couple weeks where they could come see this?
Yeah, well, we have a team that can work with anyone who's willing to have a demo, right away. This is a product that is being out there in the market for a while now. I mean, pretty solid piece of software being used by many customers right now. And we have a aircraft and operations for demo available in different countries. And we are in the capacity to showcase, a very dynamic setup and complex operation if needed. Now, you call us today, you actually write a message, drop a message to us, and we'll be right away, setting up a demo if you want it or if you need it. Even if you needed us to come over to your place, we'll be more than happy to implement something or do a demo with you guys or a proof of concept. That's
Great.
definitely something we are willing to do.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, I appreciate that. And as we here at Skyfire are sort of leaning into DFR quite a bit, as you are well aware, and we've been working on this concept for the last several years, all the way back to the early days of the Chula Vista program, all the way up through the 10 or 12 others that we've worked on. DFR is obviously here to stay. We're thrilled to have you guys as part of our team of partners here at Skyfire, because like you, we are very agnostic as far as software and hardware and drones and boxes and all kinds of stuff like that. We just want to make sure that all of our customers can get whatever product they think is best. So we appreciate you guys joining us on this journey. And certainly as BVLOS becomes more ingrained in these operations, we're looking at things like cameras and radar and all of the other options that we can to enable DFR to scale the way that we know that both of us know that it will and can. So thank you so much for taking the time today to share all this with our viewers. We will be opening this up for questions as well too. So if you guys have any questions in the next couple of minutes, feel free to send them in. We can also comment on all of the live videos on the various streams that we've put it out on today as well. So if you have questions about Votix, about DFR in general, feel free to reach us out at Skyfire. You can also reach out directly to Votix. Where can they find you guys? You can just go to your website, I'm assuming, and hit the contact link.
Yeah, you can actually contact us to, you can actually go to our website and you have a contact form right there that will connect directly to us, or you can actually contact our contact at votix.com, and that can also be of use, or through you guys, anyone who can, contact you, surely will be in capacity to outreach us. Okay, that's kind of the options. We also have our LinkedIn profile, so you can also connect us via and follow us on LinkedIn and connect us if you want. So there's plenty of ways through which you can outreach us.
We're both not hard to find online, so it should be easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, well, Edwin, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. For those of you, again, who are interested in Votix, you can reach out to us at info@skyfireconsulting.com, Facebook, LinkedIn. We still don't have a TikTok. Many years we've been talking about not starting a TikTok, and we've still stuck to that. So I'm very proud of that. Maybe someday we will. Who knows? But thank you again all for watching on the various platforms. Again, we will talk to you anytime you'd like to talk about DFR. We would be happy to talk to you about it. Thanks again for watching us today, and we will see you next time.